Hello, we're going to talk today about actually getting into profit with your internet marketing. And internet marketing has the potential to earn you a good profit, but a lot of people I speak to, it seems to turn into an expense rather than a money earner. You get to spend a few dollars for hosting a month, a few more dollars a year for some domain names, rent the essential autoresponder service that still only just has you as the sole subscriber most of the time. And then there's all the ebooks and other products you've bought, each of which promised to be the one that would turn your fledgling internet marketing business from a cash drain into regular profits, but somehow didn't seem to fulfill that promise totally. And almost everyone I speak to needs to focus more, because it's really easy to sign up for emails and get swamped by them. Then you spend hours and hours reading them, and you get conflicting information from them as well. And that should actually tell you two different things. First off, there are lots of different ways to turn a profit on the internet, most of which actually work, although you might not believe it to start with. And also that you should regularly cull your internet subscriptions, or even email subscriptions. Any email subscriptions where you delete the message more often than you read it, they're a good candidate for finding the unsubscribe link. It's usually at the bottom somewhere. It says unsubscribe, sometimes leave or whatever, or subscriber details, but it's there. And the same goes for emails when there's never any information, they're just sales pitches. Unless of course you're building up a swipe file to use for your copywriting, in which case put them in a separate folder so you don't actually spend time reading them, you just go to them when you actually need to do some research. And any emails where the angle being pitched just isn't one that you want to pursue. You can't be an expert in everything, so stop trying to be. So if someone's sending you emails consistently about CPA offers, cost per action, or Facebook ads or whatever else, and you don't want to do that, unsubscribe. You can always resubscribe. They'll be perfectly happy to take your email address again. Second thing you need to do is actually set aside some time. And again, it's very easy to persuade yourself that you're being productive when you're only really checking emails, looking on Facebook and checking tweets, and before you know it, an hour or more has disappeared and you've got absolutely nothing to show for it. So set aside some time for your internet marketing activities, and choose the activities, we'll deal with that in a minute, that actually stand a chance of making you money rather than the ones that never will. So let's face it, there are only so many pictures of cute cats and people making fools of themselves that you can look at. So set aside some time, maybe a block of 30 minutes twice a day, and that, even just that, it's only an hour, will make a tremendous amount of difference. At first you might only manage one new page on your website, or an article like this one, or a handful of helpful forum posts, or even one or two new videos. But over time that will mount up, and if you did that every single weekday for next year, you'd have 200 pages on your website, or whatever else it was you chose to focus on. Assuming you didn't speed up, which you will with practice. So the one a day will turn into two, and that's a really nice quantity. Third thing is actually use the products you already bought, and you know what I mean here. You've almost certainly bought quite a few products, some of which you've never even accessed, and they're still in the equivalent of being in their shrink wrap. Or maybe you got as far as the first one or two chapters or videos and then got distracted and never went back because something else caught your attention. That's quite regularly. Internet marketers everywhere do that all the time. Some are even just serial buyers of products, each of which promises the world in terms of profits, and could well be right, but you'll never find out if you don't actually put them into practice. So go back through your email inbox, go through wherever your download pages are, go back over your purchase over the last few weeks or months and revisit each of them. Then use step 4, and that's pick one main method. You'll probably find there's a common theme in the stuff you bought, and that means you're probably drawn to it. But whatever your main method is, pick it. It could be videos, posts on your website, forum posts, Facebook posts, whatever it is. And if you're already in negative cash flow with your internet marketing, forget all the methods that require you to spend money to make them work. Or at least ignore them until you've got some spare cash from your internet marketing. Or maybe just ignore them forever. So that means forget about things like solo ads, advertising on AdWords or Facebook, CPA promotions, and whatever else will almost certainly cost you more to learn than they earn you, at least in the short term. You can always go back to them later once you're in profit. But whichever main method you choose, keep at it and devote around about 80% of your allotted time to this one main method. So if you've got an hour a day that you can spend on internet marketing, either do 50-minute chunks a day on your main method and then 10 minutes on the rest, or 4 days out of 5, which is probably a better way. Spend all your time on your main method and then the fifth day on your secondary methods. Which leads us on to picking the few of the secondary methods. That might be just one, or certainly no more than 2 or 3 others. It's basically the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle. And unless you've been really unlucky in your choice of main method, and you'll know that in a month or two, maybe from gut instinct, maybe from figures, you'll start to gain traction with your main method. The support methods could be anything else from your list of possible activities, and it may be over time your focus changes, but don't let it change for the first, well, don't let it change with the wind. So keep at it for certainly at least a month, maybe a bit longer. So you'll get a handle on it and a feel for it, and you'll get faster at it. Which brings us on to the 6th point, which is being persistent. And overnight successes usually take quite a long time to actually happen. Most take a lot of time, overnight successes. Google was an overnight success in about 5 years. Twitter I think might have taken 3 or 4. Facebook certainly quite a while. And all these ones take time to come to fruition. Internet marketing is exactly the same. So don't give up on your first day when no one, not even Google, visits your first post on your new website. And while we're on that subject, checking stats and statistics and pressing refresh on the screen doesn't count as a method. Sorry. And if you'd like a bit more help on this, take a look at my very affordable product, Internet Marketing in an Hour a Day. There's a link below this video, and there's probably been one up on screen as well, depending on where you're watching it. So join me on that. Might be the last product you actually need to buy for quite some considerable time. Thanks for watching.